Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Lesson 14. Today we're going to be talking about YouTube, which I know a lot of you quite enjoy. So hopefully this will be a fun, I would say discussion, but clearly this is not a two-way piece of communication. So this will be a fun lecture. YouTube is a video sharing website where users can upload, rate, comment on, view, and share videos. It was launched on February 14th in 2005. And they are headquartered in San Bruno, California, which is part of the Bay Area. Again, YouTube was founded by former PayPal employees. So in case you're keeping track, that's 4 different social media companies that have been founded by former PayPal employees. And as I mentioned before, there's kind of a fun Wikipedia page called the PayPal Mafia. And it shows you all of the people from PayPal who went on to have successful second ventures, including YouTube. In November 2006, YouTube was purchased by Google for, drumroll, $1.65 billion. Now it's part of the Google ecosystem. The majority of YouTube's content is user-generated. And how do you think YouTube makes money? Well, it makes money 2 different ways. The first is through ad revenue through Google AdSense, a program which targets ads according to site content and audience. And the second is through its subscription service, an ad-free version of YouTube called YouTube Red. The inspiration for YouTube came after the founders couldn't easily find a video of 2 prominent events that happened in 2004. Can anyone guess what they are? I bet you can't, because probably half of you were barely alive at that time. The first one was the 2004 Janet Jackson Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction. Yes, back in 2004. If you missed it, you couldn't see it again. So I remember very clearly being at a Super Bowl party. As kind of what happens at the Super Bowl parties I go to. The guys are there during the football portion. During halftime, the living room switches out to all the girls going in to watch the halftime show. And when all the girls were watching it in the collective, oh my God, what just happened? And all the guys ran in to find out what was going on, and they missed it. We couldn't rewind TV back then. The second event that happened in 2004 was the Indian Ocean tsunami. So the founders of YouTube, these were 2 kind of historic events that happened towards the end of the year. They wanted to find video of these things and they couldn't find it anywhere. So this sparked the idea for YouTube, which is essentially just a site that houses other people's videos, which we kind of take for granted at this point, I think. The first video on YouTube was titled Me at the Zoo, and it showed co-founder Jawed Karim at the San Diego Zoo, and it can still be seen on the site today, and I'll give you a little peek.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
So as you can see, he's still making money off of ads, off of the very first video that was ever on YouTube. So let's look at some stats. Who uses YouTube? Well, pretty much everyone. YouTube has 2 billion users worldwide. Almost 50% of the site's traffic comes from the US. The second largest viewers are in India with 8.1% and Japan with 4.6%. It's the second most popular social media platform. The only social network that has more monthly active users than YouTube is, can you guess? Facebook. But when it comes to the usage of YouTube based on generation, at least 90% of US internet users aged 18 to 44 access YouTube. This statistic also goes to show the preference of visual content among other types. What's even more surprising is that the same study shows that 51% of elderly people over the age of 75 who are using the internet are also watching videos on YouTube. My guess is that they are probably watching videos that are embedded on other sites, but that are housed on YouTube, so those numbers are counting up. I think if I told my mom, who's in her 70s, to go to YouTube and watch a video, she would lose her mind. She wouldn't know what to do. But I bet you anything she watches YouTube videos without knowing she does because they're embedded on other sites. And finally, users can navigate YouTube in a total of 80 different languages. This covers 95% of the internet population. For comparison purposes, Facebook is available in only 43 languages. So why do people use YouTube? People watch YouTube based on their passions for entertainment and to learn how to do things. Those are the most common reasons. Video is a powerful marketing tool. 90% of people say they discover new brands or products on YouTube. That's really high. Now, while it doesn't necessarily convince people to buy the product or service, it does get the message across. YouTube can help popularize your product. If you're trying to get into a new market or increase exposure of a product, you can make a video of that product showcasing its benefits. So what this is telling us is that YouTube is used primarily for people doing research on products and especially how-to videos. So as you guys know, anything from building a piece of furniture to how to do a makeup tutorial, how-tos and tutorials are huge on YouTube. Now it may not drive direct sales like Pinterest, which we just learned about, but it's more of in the long-term funnel where you're gathering information and getting educated on the different products before you purchase. So people love to be on YouTube. They look for all this content, or is it just an algorithm that's feeding them this information? 70% of what people watch on YouTube is determined by its recommendation algorithm. YouTube recommendations tend to point users to progressively longer content. This is significant. Why? Because the longer the content, the more ads you can fit into the video. And that's also why longer videos on YouTube rank higher in search. Because the longer the video, the more ads they can get in, the more they can monetize. How are people using YouTube? Well, we know mobile is first everywhere, obviously. More than 70% of YouTube watch time comes from mobile devices. Businesses simply can't afford to ignore the huge potential that mobile has to offer to your brand's visibility. So again, if you're not going mobile first, we used to say digital first, now it's mobile first, then you're really missing out and you're not serving your audience. YouTube accounts for the most megabytes with 37% of all mobile internet traffic. This is way ahead of Facebook, which is in second place with 8.4%, and Snapchat with 8.3%. 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute worldwide. That's 30,000 hours of video uploaded every hour, and 720,000 hours of video uploaded every day to YouTube. To put this into perspective, it would take you close to 82 years to watch the amount of videos uploaded to YouTube in only an hour. That's a lifetime of watching YouTube videos. And while these numbers are staggering, it's nothing compared to the watch time on YouTube. Every day people watch 1 billion hours of video on YouTube and generate billions of views. Another interesting fact is that searches related to the term how-to are growing 70% year over year. This means that when users are searching for ways to learn something, they rely on video content, and I'm sure you guys would attest to that. So what's popular on YouTube? The most viewed video on YouTube as of right now is Despacito. It has 6.59 billion views. It reached the milestones of 2 billion and 2.5 billion views faster than any video in YouTube history. Only one video in the top 15 is not a music video. Can you find it? It's Masha and the Bear, and this is a children's cartoon. So of the top 15, only one is not a music video. Since Lady Gaga's Bad Romance in 2009, every single video that has reached the top of the most viewed YouTube videos list has been a music video. When you splice the numbers by category, though, you come to find that the top 4 content categories are music, comedy, entertainment and pop culture, and how-to. Those are the 4 biggest categories of content on YouTube. So we just saw the top viewed videos. Now let's talk about the most disliked video. So for years, it was Justin Bieber's song Baby. It was the most disliked video on YouTube until 2018. And YouTube did their annual rewind, which kind of sums up the popular videos for the year. But what happened in 2018 took a turn. And now the YouTube Rewind 2018, Everyone Controls Rewind, is the most disliked video on YouTube. Why? Well, the theories are because, well, if you've ever watched it, it's incredibly cringeworthy, and I encourage you to watch it just for the laugh. But what happened is YouTube really started out very organically. It's obviously driven by user-generated content, and the rewinds would reflect that. So the rewind would be very organic, very grassroots, down to earth, and then this one in 2018 became this very corporate, BS-y, crappy, cringeworthy video, and YouTube revolted. So if you guys saw the 2019 rewind, it definitely went back to its roots a bit more because they saw they had essentially jumped the shark and gone too far into the corporate realm. So let's talk about fastest growing, fastest viewing videos. That doesn't sound right. Let's talk about videos that had the most views in the first 24 hours. That sounds a lot better. Currently, Boy With Love by BTS is officially recognized by YouTube as the music video with the most views in 24 hours after attracting an audience of 74.6 million on the video sharing platform. That happened in April of 2019. However, because I'm going to kind of remove the music video component and take a look at how brands are on YouTube so you guys can learn how to properly put a brand on YouTube and make it successful, I want to show you this video instead. So this is a video that previously had the most views in 24 hours, and it's an example of great marketing. It's for the movie The Rings. It's for the movie Rings. It's for the movie Rings.
Oh, hi. My name is Andy. Robin, nice to meet you. Alright, so the first TV I'm going to show you guys is over here. It's one of our newer models. You're seeing a trailer. It's playing in regular 1080p right now. I'm going to switch it to 4K, which is the new technology. What's the biggest difference that you see?
It enhanced more.
Very vivid.
It almost looks realistic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to grab a different remote. So we'll be right back and then we'll do that one, okay?
Sure. Oh my god. Oh my god!
What do you think about the picture quality?
Looks like she's gonna jump out.
She looks like she's gonna jump out?
What definition?
Like she's right there.
Like she's right there?
Yeah.
Why? Touch it. Wow.
No, chill.
Oh my god. It's brighter.
Quality, that's...
Hey! Oh my god.
What do you offer?
It's very hard not to laugh through that. I just love to see how people react when they're scared. It's very so much. So, like I said, that was a promotion for rings. And it's a really great example of how you can take a movie or any product and bring it to life and then play upon the things that people love on YouTube, which is people getting scared, people getting hurt, fails, etc., etc. All right, YouTube for business. So, should your brand even be on YouTube? Probably. And I say probably because having a good content strategy and also a good support system for videos can be difficult for some companies. So the example I use is when I was at Murad, the company owners really wanted to go on YouTube. However, they were unwilling to put money behind it to have a good production value. So the issue became our brand is a high-end brand. It's not cheap, and we want to project that image. But you can't do that at the time, especially with an iPhone. You needed to have lighting, you needed to have makeup and hair for Dr. Murad. So it was a bigger production with the cost. So though they wanted to be on YouTube, they didn't want to put any money behind it. And so we always said, no, unless you guys want to put the money behind it, it's going to take to make a quality video that is up to our brand standards, we don't recommend going on YouTube. So, does your brand invest in video marketing? Are you creating video content that is relative and interesting for people who have no prior knowledge of your brand? Again, remember, this is a place where people come to find out information about brands before they purchase. Is your company a thought leader? Can your company offer free information that demonstrates skills and intelligence and provides genuine value to users? So example, speeches, seminars, tips about your field and your industry. Can you create a thought leader out of your spokespeople? Can your company offer tutorials? So we know that how-tos are one of the biggest categories. Many people prefer to get instruction from a video rather than a text-heavy blog post. Do you have specific or uncommon knowledge within your organization or industry that others can benefit from? Does your brand have a creative story? This is only beneficial if you can tie your brand into messaging while still making the content shareable. So YouTube is all about creativity. You have to think of how you can tell your stories in a creative and compelling visual manner. Are your customers or the influencers of your customers watching videos on YouTube related to your industry? So we know almost everyone's watching videos on YouTube, but how is your industry on YouTube? What are your competitors doing on YouTube? And are customers watching that? So the first thing you want to do when going on YouTube, if you're coming into a company and you don't have a YouTube page and they want to start one or you want to start one, you think that it's beneficial, is to set up a business page. Now this is a link to a Sprout Social article that has a really, really great tutorial on setting up a page, but not only just setting it up, how to optimize it. So basically in very simple steps, you create or use an existing business account. You create a YouTube for business page by going to YouTube My Channel and use a business or other name. So you're not setting up a personal page, you're setting up a business page. You fill out the details and upload your channel art and make sure it looks good across all devices. So YouTube is actually one of the fastest growing apps that people are watching on television. So when you upload your channel art, you have to make sure that it looks good for mobile, desktop, and now television. And those dimensions are drastically different. Fill out your description and optimize your channel by including a channel trailer. Here's Burt's Bees, and this is a good example of a channel trailer that you can create.
When we connect with nature, we both become stronger. And in our world today, we need nature now more than ever. Through nature, our mind relaxes, our soul awakens, our skin replenishes, and the chemistry we share makes us both better. That idea to live simply with nature and protect its diversity of life started when our founders, a beekeeper and an artist, traded big city life for the woods in Maine. back in 1984. And we've carried that same rebellious spirit ever since, doing what's right, what's natural to us, even if it's not always popular. It's why our products are made with ingredients from nature. Every step designed to respect people and our planet. Responsible sourcing, no animal testing, recyclable packaging, and landfill-free operations. Because in life, just like in nature, greatness comes from within. So join us. Let's show the world what we're made of.
So this is a great example I pulled out because it's a video that really gives a good overview on Burt's Bees. It talks about their history and their founders. It talks about their point of view. It talks about the different values that they have and how they are supporting those values through having like zero waste, recyclable packaging. It shows the products, and it also shows people enjoying it in a very visually appealing and very on-brand manner. So having a good channel trailer can really help people who are doing research on your product or service. Other ways to optimize your channel are by including relevant keywords and phrases in the titles and descriptions, crafting custom captions and transcripts that make your videos easy for YouTube to crawl, again, back to SEO and keywords, creating unique thumbnail images that catch the eye of potential viewers, and tagging your videos to make them show up in relevant search queries. So now, what about content? You guys have an idea of what YouTube is, who's on YouTube, how people are using YouTube. You saw some of the most popular videos on YouTube, and then you learned how to set up a channel. So let's talk about, once you have this channel, what are some tips to create great content that people want to view and that appears easily in the algorithm, in the home feed, in the recommended videos. So I'm going to show you 3 types of content and that are all different brands showcasing their products or services in 3 different ways. The first one is educational content.
I don't know about you guys, but a lot of my mornings I end up snoozing through my alarm, and then I pretty much wake up in terror and I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do now? I have like 10 minutes to do my makeup and dress up and do my hair. So right now I'll show you 3 easy hairstyles that you can do on those days that you're running late, and each one of them will take you about a minute to do, and they're super easy. So let's begin. Here comes number 1. So the first thing you're gonna do is just tease the hair at the crown and hairspray it, tease it a little more, and then grab this section and just twist it and pin it in place. Now I'm gonna take one section from the left and just start twisting it, and I'm just going to pin it in place here and cover the bobby pins. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So grab a section and just twist it and pin it right under the other section. And that was not even a minute. Hairstyle number 2. The first thing I'm going to do is pull all my hair in a high ponytail. Separate the section above the ponytail base and create a gap there. And I'm going to grab my ponytail and start pulling it through that gap. But I'm only going to pull it halfway through, not all the way through. Let the rest of the hair stay in place. Grab a few sections of hair and just pin them in place over the ponytail base. And your updo is pretty much done. Hairstyle number 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my hair in a side ponytail. What I'm going to do next is take the hair donut, take my ponytail, and I'm going to insert my ponytail through the hair donut. So once I did that, I'm going to wrap the ends of my hair over the hair donut and start turning it inside out, and I'm going to be moving upwards towards my ponytail and grabbing more and more hair. At first it's gonna look like a little bit of a mess, but you just have to keep going and you have to keep twisting the hair donut inside out and then fix the hair around it as you go up. If there's any layers sort of pulling out, just grab a bobby pin and hide them in place. And that's it, your side bun is ready. That's it, my darlings. Make sure to favorite this video for those mornings you're running late. I know that happens to all of us. Don't forget to like this video down below and subscribe down below as well. I love you guys and I'll see you soon. Bye.
So I don't know if any one of you can guess what the product is that they're selling, but it's actually hair extensions. And as you noticed, none of that video talked about hair extensions. It's a how-to video that can be used whether or not you have hair extensions, but it complements the product perfectly. And they're using an influencer to help gain new eyes on their product through a how-to video. So that's a great example of educational content. Second, the next example we're going to give you is brand storytelling. So this is the GoPro Be a Hero Fireman video. What do we normally associate GoPro with? Usually it's action sports, but this video showcases their brand in a way most people don't think about or know that they're being used by service people, by firefighters, by policemen and women. And it shows it in a way that is emotionally connected. So I would bet that at least one of you got a little bit teary-eyed watching that video. So it's an amazing way of brand storytelling that's unique. It's out of the ordinary for their brand, but it makes an emotional connection and it's incredibly memorable. So three great types of content. The first is education. The second is brand storytelling, and the third is entertainment.
That 19 presents Burning Questions, featuring real customer inquiries about the world's largest gummy bear.
A curious customer named Danny writes, "What would happen if I put my world's largest gummy bear in the microwave for 10 minutes on high? Let's find out."
That was gooey. Christy asks, will it blend? Good question. Oh my god, it's burning.
Sugary. Gus wants to know, does it bounce? Not bouncy.
Amber writes, when will you make a sour version? We tried that once.
Anthony asks, why don't you make the world's largest gummy bear on the world's largest stick?
Zach says, I have a bad temper and I tend to kick things. What would happen?
Jenny wonders, will it drastically expand underwater?
Kevin ponders, can it be used as a weapon? Yes.
Matt asks, if I give a midget a switchblade and the gummy bear a hatchet, which one will win? Well, that's all the time we have. You asked for it.
Fancy man. The world's largest gummy bear. Buy it now at vat19.com. vat19.com.
Oh, so happy.
Hey guys. Kate.
Yeah.
Craig.
Yeah.
Would you mind not being in the kitchen because I can totally hear you?
He got stung by me.
Oh no.
So we're trying.
Oh honey, I'm sorry.
We're trying not to make one. Sorry. I got the stinger out. It's in the bathroom.
Gross. I love you. You put baking soda on it?
No, she doesn't want to put anything on it.
I'm sorry. So how do you market a giant gummy bear? Here's how. You partner with an organization that already makes great entertaining YouTube videos, and then you sell giant gummy bears. So to summarize, 3 types of good content are educational videos, videos that tell your brand's story, and entertaining videos. So now, how do you optimize your videos for search? Well, first, making sure that you have a relevant title and description. So my former business partner, one of her first jobs was working for a company actually transcribing entire YouTube videos into the description section, because back then that's how you would game the system for SEO. Doesn't work anymore. But what you still want to do is make sure that you're incorporating your keywords and relevant descriptions so that people can find your videos. You can utilize keywords tools for YouTube to help you find keywords that are working for your industry. Also, build future content around popular search terms in your industry. make sure people are engaging. So one of the most important things YouTube takes into consideration when ranking your videos is engagement. So when you hear people be like, smash that like button, make sure you subscribe over here, ring the bell, all those things are because it helps exponentially to show up with YouTube's algorithm. So encourage viewers to comment, subscribe, share, favorite, or hit the thumbs up button. Share your videos through other marketing channels like e-newsletters, social media, websites, company intranet, etc. And finally, format your videos intelligently. So if you are uploading your videos, you want to make sure that the file name contains keywords. YouTube actually takes that into consideration. Length. The longer the videos, the higher the value. Again, why would YouTube want you to watch longer videos or want you to have longer videos when we know that people's attention spans are shorter? It's because the longer the video, the more ads they can place in it, the more they can monetize it. You want your title to be concise, descriptive, and contain your target keywords near the start. You want your description to be long. The longer the better. Add as much detail as you can and load it with keywords. And then utilize target keywords and a handful of associated terms in your tags. So a few other tips and tricks when you are utilizing YouTube for your brand. The first is consistency. Consistency is key for posting on YouTube. Post once or twice a week to optimally grow your following. People get very used to and expect more content from you, so you want to make sure if you are committing to a YouTube strategy that you're being consistent just like the other social media channels. Add a watermark. It drives new customers back to your channel and encourages them to subscribe. Also, when people include your videos on their playlists, it will be very obvious where those videos came from in the first place. Enable auto subscription prompts. So as you'll see here on James Corden's Carpool Karaoke, there's a subscription prompt at the bottom. And it also has a preview of another video that YouTube thinks you would like. And finally, link merchandise cards to your website. Your account must be verified and in good standing and follow YouTube's community guidelines in order to do this. So with most of YouTube's advertising, you need to be verified, you need to follow their community guidelines, you need to have at least a certain amount of followers, a certain amount of views, and you have to be on YouTube for a certain amount of time. So you can look that up if you're trying to monetize YouTube. I know the follower count is around 1,000. I forget what the views are. The reason I know that follower count is because we are trying to reach 1,000 followers on the Daily 49ers YouTube channel so that we can start to put ads on that channel. So I'm going to offer you a piece of extra credit if we haven't done it already. I can't remember. Go over to the Daily 49ers YouTube channel and subscribe and upload it to the Dropbox on Beachboard, and I will give you an extra credit point. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lecture on YouTube. We have one more week of instruction before we have our final. Next week we'll be talking about Yelp, and then we will also be doing a final review. So have a wonderful week, and I will see you back here next Monday or Tuesday.